Oh, woo, yeah. The cat is out of the bag, or the rabbit is out of whatever idiom that is. Oh. Yeah, you might be wondering, what am I on about? One of the biggest banks, FNB, have just written an article. They're being quoted in an article that says the middle income South African spend their money in 5 days. So 5 days time, you get paid on the 25th, and by the 30th, that money is gone. You get paid on the 1st, by the 5th, that money is all gone. So the middle class, or the middle income earner, they only have their money for 5 days. Isn't that a sad situation? Nothing is left in their bank account. So maybe the question that we should be asking ourselves, how did the FNB know that? Well, you bank with them. Yes, I also bank with them. Yep. I also bank with them. I've done a couple of business with them. And they're a good bank. They've been generous to me over the years. But that's not the point. They have looked into the data in terms of how much money you have in your bank account. So I'm talking to you because you are the middle income. What is a middle income earner actually? Maybe let's define that. Maybe we can easily say, well, it's the person whose money gets to finish in 5 days' time. We can say that, isn't it? Because they've already defined it for us. But on a serious note, this was a painful topic for me when I read this. And I was asking myself, how is this possible? But I look back and I was like, I used to be in that position. So, how do I say, well, how is this possible? It's very possible. But then in this video, I am not wanting to beat down on anyone. I am not wanting to say this can't be done. I am wanting to say, how did I get myself out of it? And hopefully you can also learn one or two things on how you can get out of it as well. So if that's you, your money is literally done in 5 days. So how best can you make sure that it can go longer? Or how can you improve a little bit of your income? And maybe let's talk about, why does that happen? Why does your money get finished in 5 days' time, right? Maybe it is because you have more expenses. Yes. Maybe it's because you like things. Yep. You the corner and yep. Or I don't know, whatever it is. Whatever that you spend your money on. I'm not going to judge. Today I'm not judging. I am Uncle TJ. So let's talk about that. Right. I've been there. I know how it feels. It's a painful thingy. But how did I get myself out of that? So the first thing, let's try to solve this. And I'm going to try to solve this. I think this is one of my very emotional videos. I know I'm not showing any emotions on my face, but this is one of those topics that I've said, I think FNB has just hit it hard on the nail on what I have been preaching about for the last, I don't know. And I've been telling people, find a plan B or find a side hustle. Because if you've got a side hustle, you've got a plan B, then your money wouldn't finish in 5 days' time. Right? But anyway, I know a lot of us, we might not be able to find we might not be able to find the side hustle in an easy manner. So that's what this channel is all about. For us to just step up our game. So maybe let's step up your game so that your money doesn't have to spend in 5 days, but you spend it in 10 days. And then we step up your game again, you get to 15 days. Then we step up your game again, we get to 30 days. And then eventually now you actually have a salary that's still there in your bank account. And then we get into, now you actually have 2 months of salaries in your bank account before the next salary comes through. And now you have 3. You get what I mean? They call it savings. Yes, I don't call it that. But let's try to solve it in terms of how did I do it. So first thing is that I'm going to be very practical because I had to be practical myself. So if you don't do this, at some point, the things that will happen in your space will potentially force you to do it. So let me give you an example. Let's assume I used to earn 100K. With this 100K, I had all the luxuries and the things that I thought were good for me. So I continued like that. However, when I got retrenched, I no longer had this 100K. I had zero amount. So I was forced to be not having all of those luxuries or the things that I thought were not luxuries, but were actually fundamentals to my livelihood, which is me having a car, my missus having a car, and maybe having another one also in standby, or me having DSTV, the full bouquet, or me eating from takeaways. I'm just throwing out stuff there. I'm not judging, by the way. And then I looked back before, and then I said, how best can I cut before I am forced to cut? So the forcing is the retrenchment that I'm talking about. So I'm earning 100K, but how best can I cut back? So I'm cutting back my expenses. Maybe I don't need 2 cars. Because the day that I'm retrenched, what can I do with 2 cars? Maybe I need to buy a smaller car, but that's paid off so that I can cut off on my repayment. Maybe I don't need to have a full bouquet of DSTV. No hating on DSTV. I love them. I don't have them anymore in my household, but I'm just saying. Maybe I don't have to be eating at food from Woolies all the time. Maybe I can do, somewhere else. Do you get the drift here? I'm not player hating on any of these brands, but all I'm just basically saying is, how best do you cut back before you are forced to cut back? But when you cut back, let's assume you just cut back on 1,000. Out of your 100, you cut back on 1,000. This is not a drastic cutback of 50K, which is 50% of that. It's not. It's a cutback of just 1,000. When you have figured out that now you have this 1,000, what are you going to do with that 1,000? My view, or what I did, I then went on to look at how best can I invest this 1,000. When I started investing this 1,000, I was not only now earning 100K, but I was now earning 100K plus the interest on the 1,000. It's not significant. It's not a lot of money, but the bottom line is that I started tasting to see, oh, you can get the money to work for you. It was a couple of cents, but then I saw it. And I'm like, how best can I put in some more money? So the next couple of months, 12 months came in, and all I was doing, I was taking 1,000 off 1,000 off 1,000 because that's what I could cut back on. And by the end of the year, I had 12,000, which is now a significant amount of money compared to my 100K. But I didn't just have 12,000. I had 12,000 plus the interest that I was getting from the monthly whatever that I was getting. Or maybe I loaned someone some money, right? A bra came through and says to me, hey, TJ, I want to do ABC. I'm like, yeah, I can give you 1,000, but you know what? When it comes back, it needs to come back with some grandchildren, Can you organize me something? But I'm not saying go and loan money. Don't. People are nasty out there. Don't do that. But I'm saying find something so you can either invest the money, like I did that. And for me, I also took my 1,000 and I started using it I started paying off to, so what I started doing is I started going out there and I started educating myself on how best my 1,000 rand. So I looked for a course that I could pay, but that course was for me so that I can go and gain the skill and go and generate money. So I paid someone, or I went to pay at a school, the 1,000 to learn how to write books, and I started learning how to write books, and now those books are selling at, let's say, 300 Rand or 200, whatever the case is. But the bottom line is that I got a skill that's now giving me money. Now I have 3 incomes. I have my 100K, I have maybe an investment on my 1,000, and now if I've got a skill, I am now making money off the skill. So which means that even though it's not catching up to my exact 100, but I've got some monies that is coming in. I remember back in the days when I joined others in a group and I said for my 1,000, I'd like to contribute, and there was 10 of us. We contributed money, 1,000, and all of us were contributing 1,000. By the end of the year, we had a significant amount of money, and we went to buy something that gave us extra income. Again, that is a strategy that someone else could utilize. I've done that. By the way, on this channel, I only talk about stuff that I do, or stuff that I've seen other people doing who are very close to me and who are winning in that space. Again, on the 1,000 Rand contributions to everybody else, we went to buy in bulk. So we went somewhere else and we bought, let's say, groceries, let's say meat. Normally, if I would spend the same 1,000 on my groceries, I would only get X quantity. But this time around, because I'm buying in bulk with my mates, so I am buying now a double X because I'm buying in quantity. We're buying at a wholesale. The return there is that in my household, I am able to save. Now I can go on. There are so many ways of doing this. But what we are trying to address is that your money doesn't finish up in 5 days. Yep, like what the bank said, FNB. That's what that article says. You can check out in the comments the article for yourself. I didn't say that. They said it. Now, how did I get it? Of course, I looked backwards and I'm like, yo, they were talking about me, but I'm out of that now. So there's different strategies that you can deploy here, right? Now, when you have now figured out how do you start saving the 1,000, and you've cut back and you're seeing success. The other thing that I started doing is I started to identify what else can I cut off from as a season, right? So can I cut off on my leisure time? What do I mean by that? Maybe let me cut off on my smoking. Well, for me, I've never been a smoker before, but so I'll be lying if I say that I can cut back. But I cut off on some luxuries. I enjoy going out, and I realized that I was spending probably about 5 to 1,000 on an outing. So I spoke to my missus and I'm like, babe, we enjoy going out. Maybe for the next 6 months, we are not going to go out, but we're going to save this money. And this money is going to give us this skill. When it gives us this skill, we're going to be making this money. And when we make this money for the rest of our lives, we can be able to go out. So for a season, 6 months to a year, we cut back and we use the money for something. So how best can you now get into a position where you're getting out? This video is not to talk about, oh, you're starting off and now how do you plan? Now I'm going to do another video on that one because it's a different position. You're in a painful position. You're already spending your money in 5 days' time. So this is now about cutting back. Yeah. I'm hoping that this has been helpful. It is. If it has, give me some comments. Hey, what else can you cut back on? Let me know in the notes.